Okay, the FXT, F3K, F5J Timer and Training app is now released and it's on the Android Play Store. Android is the only version now, Apple will come later. When you open the app, I think it's best to have all these checkboxes checked. It makes sure that your sounds are on. Effectively, the only time you will have these checkboxes not checked is if you're in a competition environment and you don't want this noise from the announcement to disturb or conflict with other announcements from a competition director side. Now we go to the timer side. So on the timer, it's basically a stopwatch at the bottom. Here is a ready timer, so it's a prep time before your working time starts, and here's a working time. It's now set on 1 minute. I can pick my 10 minutes. I can pick any of these times here, which are in line with most popular competition task times. And you can then practice with a working time as that. If you pick free fly, it will not have a working time whatsoever, and you can just start and stop flights as you like. Let's go to a 2-minute flight here, just to show. If I click on the ready time, the yellow here, then my prep time will start to count down.
7, 6, 5.
When that comes to 0, my working time will start, and only then my start button will be enabled. As you can see now, my start button is enabled and I can start the flight. I can stop the flight there, start my next flight, and every flight that is start and stopped, after it's stopped, it will be recorded here. If I stop again, you'll see that flight is stopped, the next flight is running. At the end of the working time, the flight will be stopped and automatically recorded in the last position. So if I stop here, that's now fine. I can go and reset yes, and everything is reset to that, or I can pick a new working time window and that will run. If I click directly on working time, then my working time will start immediately. You'll see it starts immediately, my ready time is gone. When you will use this is, for example, again in a competition where you want to sync this working time with the working time of the announcements going on. And now I can start my flights and stop my flights from here. Then there is a third way in which you can start and stop your flight and your working time, is if your pilot is going to launch on the buzzer. So an F3K or F5J, if it says it's going to launch on the buzzer, when you get to the buzzer and you hear the buzzer and the pilot launches on the buzzer, effectively you can click start and it will start the flight and the working time. And the working time will run to 0 and the flight will stop, and if these two would run concurrently for the whole time of the working time, the flight will be about 0.1 second less than the working time, because we are not allowed to have a 10-minute working time. The flight rules may dictate what is the maximum flight time, and that should then be taken. While in a flight or in a working time, all the buttons are disabled except the start and stop button. Only after you stop a flight, you can reset the flight. I can cancel and it will continue. Nothing has changed, but if I say reset and I say yes, everything is reset. That is in short how the timer part works, the stopwatch part works. Great to just time your flights in a more competitive type environment, or if you want to practice in a working time slot, then you have this here and your helper can use this as the stopwatch. Now we go back to the menu and we go to training. I'll quickly go through the tasks here. The 1 minute repeat is a 1 minute working time repeating 10 times. So if I select that now, it's now the first of the 1 minute that will start in 23 seconds, 22, 20 seconds. And then after the 1 minute, the next 1 minute will immediately follow. There will not be dead time in between. So you can use this as a fast turnaround practice, as a launch, land, launch, land. It's just a timer just to have something running in the background. So now your 1 minute runs, and at the end of this minute, the next minute will immediately follow, and so on until you go to 10 of 10 minutes. So I'm going to reset this. Then let's go to the 2 minute by 5. The 2 minute by 5 is effectively the same as the 5 by 2 minute tasks in F3K. it will be a prep time of about 30 seconds, and then the 2 minutes will start and consecutively run 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes for 5 in a row, and it will indicate here at what round you're at. The 3 minutes all up, this task would just be 1 minute in between and then a 3-minute task window or working time window, during which you need to try and fly for 3 minutes. It's a great event to run with a couple of friends just to do all ups. And with this running for 10 times, there's plenty of time to actually just run the slots for all up play in the park effectively. Let me go first now to 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, the same as the task in F3K. There's a prep time of about 30 seconds, and then it's the 1 minute immediately following the 2 minute, immediately the 3 and the 4 minutes without gaps in between. The 320 by 3 also, that's similar to the actual task in F3K. It's 320 windows that starts after about a 30-second prep time, and then it runs. The poker is a poker that will be called by the system. It will be a random time between 1 minute and 10 minutes. So a 1 minute, a 2 minute, a 3 minute, and so on. The lower minutes are more frequently called than, let's say, 6, 7, 8 minutes, and 9 and 10 minutes would be called less frequent. And there's a 1 minute break in between a poker round. So if you get a poker of 2 minutes, you need to fly your 2 minutes. If you land faster than that, just collect your plane, stand, wait for the next round to be announced, and fly the next one. There will be 10 of these random poker rounds announced that you can practice with. And then 5 minutes by 10. This task can be used for anything, but it's specifically catering for F5J practice, where you want to monitor your motor run at the start of a round. So it will have a countdown of a minute. Let me start this one and show you.
Training task. 5 minutes, repeat 10 times. 1 minute prep time.
So now there's the prep time. It will announce the prep time
Prep
window.
time, 50 seconds. Time indicators for 30 seconds after start horn. To
And
assist with F5J
as you can
motor
hear,
run,
there's time indicators that will
40
give you a
seconds.
time indication at when the working time starts. So at this run out of the prep time,
Prep
5
time,
minutes will start. 10 seconds later it will
30
announce 10
seconds
seconds, then 15 seconds, 20, 25 and 30 seconds. So you know how much time you've got left on your motor run. Most of us have got it programmed on our radios, but this just gives you another indicator as to where you stand. The 5 minutes makes it very nice for F5J practice in terms of launch and land, and continue that in a day
9,
to create good practice events. And then we've got a 10 minute by 10 here, and this will give you 10-minute tasks that will run also with 1 minute in between, the same as with the 5 minute for F5J. As the working time window starts, the 10 minute in this case, it will give you a 10 second, a 15, a 20, a 25 and a 30 second indication as the window starts, so you know more or less where your motor run is going to end, and then your flying continues from there. On every minute there will be a minute call, so you know during the flying what is your calling for that flight, and you can plan accordingly to come back and land on your time window. The last minute will have a 50, 40, 30, 20 and then 10 down counts to 0, so that you can practice your launch and lands with these last two. Is mostly for F5J. I hope this helps. I'm going to go back to the menu. The about here just gives you a little bit about the app, nothing strange or more. There's 2 other videos also on the YouTube channel that you can watch for extra information, but this one should give you a good indication of how to use the app and what it's used for. Enjoy.